You're knee deep in editing your masterpiece video and you want to go back and make some changes to something you did early on, but you didn't use adjustment layers. Let's talk about how to use adjustment layers. What up? I love you. Today we're gonna go through what an adjustment layer is, why you should use it, and how to use it. An adjustment layer is a blank layer that you can create and place anywhere in your project. And this can be above all your layers, above a few, or just above one. If you put it below everything, you will never see it. If it's just a blank layer, why do you wanna use it? Well, an adjustment layer allows you to place anything on top of the adjustment layer to affect everything underneath it, and gives you the ability to move and make changes to just that specific layer to affect everything else. A great way to use an adjustment layer is to put it over your entire sequence for specific clips shot in the same area and put your color grade on that adjustment layer. It will affect just what's under it. To illustrate what an adjustment layer actually is, we're gonna use this bag with an acrylic sheet inside of it. The acrylic sheet is gonna serve as our video content, all the effects, everything we have on our timeline that we wanna make changes on top of. The bag serves as our adjustment layer. When you put your adjustment layer on the timeline, you slide the bag on top of it, and then you make your changes to the adjustment layer. So if I were to hold out the acrylic sheet, and then on my timeline, I wanted to make some squiggly lines. Poor, badly drawn squiggly lines. As you can see, potentially, there's some squigglies on it. But now, say I hate the squigglies. I did a terrible job with them. I don't wanna use the squigglies anymore. Cool, let's take off the adjustment layer. I wanna go put the adjustment layer on another clip. Cool, I can do that by just placing it on top. And if I wanted to change the color, if I wanted to change anything about the adjustment layer, I do it there. This is called non-destructive editing, and it allows you to make changes easier in the future. This is more apparent in things such as like Photoshop, where you're actually making permanent changes and you can't just go into the effects and pull exactly what you've done off every time. But the same concept works, and it will make your life easier, especially if you're using the same color grade over the course of a bunch of clips. You won't necessarily need to go back and make a change for every single little one. You do it all at once. Now that we know what an adjustment layer is and why you would use it, let's talk about how you use it. So in your project panel, if you don't see your project panel, you can't edit anything because that's a pretty important panel, but you're gonna go up to Window, you're gonna find Project and make sure it's ticked on. Then you're gonna navigate to your project panel. In the bottom right, you're gonna hover over the icon that says New Item. Click it, and then the fourth item down is your adjustment layer. After you click on your adjustment layer, you have 3 different boxes that you need to fill in with your info. Luckily, this will match your sequence setting. So if you want an adjustment layer that is the size of your sequence with the same frame rate and the same aspect ratio, you just click OK. Otherwise, fill in your details to how you want it and then hit OK. This doesn't auto apply to your timeline. This is something where now it's in your project. So you need to drag it from your projects to your timeline and then apply it to whichever clips you want. This doesn't go on the clips, it goes above. So you need to add a new video track or use one you're not currently using. Once you have it on there, you'll see if you click on it and look at the effects controls panel, it looks like it would be a video, except it's completely transparent, there's nothing in it. You add whatever effects you want to this adjustment layer and apply it over all of the other videos like we spoke about. You can modify the adjustment layer with the root properties such as scale, position, and rotation to fit your creative need. Everything we ever talk about is all based on creativity. What are you doing? You know better than I know what you are trying to accomplish. Use these tools and apply in your own order to make the adjustment layer work for you. When I first started editing, I did not use adjustment layers. Please learn from my experience. Please learn from my mistakes. It is much easier to identify which clips have different properties on it if you're using adjustment layers above them. Again, this is non-destructive editing, and it will allow you to future-proof when you forget what you did and come back and look at it and see exactly what you had applied where, turn things on and off, all of that. Another cool thing you can do with an adjustment layer is the before and after your color grade. These are things people love to watch, and it's featured on a lot of different LUT websites where they're selling you pre-made LUTs. You place your adjustment layer over your clip, and then you're gonna throw the LUT you wanna showcase off on top of it. You can also just use Lumetri color and do whatever you need to do with that, but then you're gonna keyframe the adjustment layer to start off screen and slowly slide to on screen. And that's gonna give the effect of it slowly transitioning into the beautiful LUT that they wanted you to purchase. Adjustment layers are a really great tool and you should use them. You don't have to use them, and it does slow you down slightly, but I promise you in the long run, an adjustment layer used in the proper way, or the proper way for you at least, is going to make your life easier and overall speed up your editing. I want to hear the creative ways you're using adjustment layers, so as always, you can throw a comment down below. But you could also, join our Discord, get into a discourse with us in the Discord, have a conversation. I could help you, you could help me, It's a mutually beneficial thing, and I think you should check it out down below. Charlie knows everything there is to know about adjustment layers. And he's just a sweet baby. Charlie is my little adjustment layer lover. He talks about them all day. My whiteboard fell. It's been hung by 2 little nails for months. And it just fell.